On June 28, 2021, the Pacific Northwest endured the hottest temperatures the region had ever seen. Judging by the empty streets of Port Angeles, Washington, everyone was either at home in front of an air conditioner or up high searching for the cool air that only mountaintops can provide. Fortunately for this region, there's a lot of mountains. Searching for the cool myself, I too headed for the mountains, only to find that the air up there was no cooler than the air down here. Well, what's one to do? I guess you go and you find the creeks and the river valleys and you get your feet wet. And knowing that the road to Hurricane Ridge would be filled with people trying to find relief that, well, they'll never find, I choose to remain on the outside of the park. And though I may not be going too far today, I'll still need to keep my guard up. Like they say, you may not see them, but they see you. So if you walk about a quarter mile from the trailhead of this particular trail, you come across this bridge. And I have shot from this bridge before, and I got a pretty good shot. Now, knowing that I've already gotten a shot like that, I felt that it might be better if I try to, since I'm here again, that I'd like to try to get something different. So that's why I decided to walk around down to the creek and try to get the bridge. And that could pose problems, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, I think I have a composition here. I actually wanted to do this because I wanted to show you how hard it is to shoot when there is direct sunlight. I'll bring the camera up and you can see what we're dealing with here. There is a stripe of bright sunlight right here. That's just killing me here. And I love this scene because I love all of the logs and everything, and I love the way it kind of goes up. And as you can see, this comes all the way down and then hits through this little valley here and then goes all the way back up. And those trees have just kind of formed this wonderful arcing pattern here. So I really, really like it. And there's a nice little creek in here. The water's not as high as it was. I'll let you see that there. The water's not as high as it was. But anyway, let's get back to the composition. This is going to be a problem. This light here is just going to be a problem. And I'm going to have to expose for it. I have to expose for all of these areas, or they're just going to be blown out and not usable. So let's go in here and let's see what we can do. And I'll show you how I capture it. Focus, focus. Here we go. Okay, back to our screen here. Now I've got it a little bit lighter here so that you can see what I've got. I've got some leaves down here that are nice. I have this bridge. Now this bridge may cause a problem because this bridge, we've talked about before how the leading lines of images need to bring you up through the image. You want to travel. The eye wants to travel, right? Well, this bridge is kind of a roadblock almost, but I'm not sure. It's just that it's kind of in a wrong position, but that's okay because I like this area and I want to capture all this up here because this is what I'm really kind of here for. I just love this shape. And so I'm going to have to expose for the bridge, and then I'm going to have to expose for the sun, and I'm going to have to combine those exposures. It's too windy, so I don't know that I can do a focus stack, so it's a good thing that I have the bridge as a subject because I'm just going to make the bridge the only thing in focus. I'm going to widen out to like I'm at F11 now, so if I go up to like F16, it should widen everything out, and I should be able to get everything in here. I don't know that it's a third into the image like it's supposed to be for hyperfocal distancing stuff, but all right, so let's take this. First of all, I said we're going to expose for the bridge. I like that about right now. We're going to need a fast shutter speed, so we're going to have to bring the ISO up. I don't want to, but with this wind, I want to be at least at about 40th of a second. F16 may not be doable. I'll go to 800. Yeah, it's not, but that's okay because I'll get the bridge. Man, see, that's how it goes with this. So now I could take my polarizer off, but I don't want to take my polarizer off. So we're just going to do with it what we can. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so I'm not totally unhappy with that. Hello there.
Hey, good morning.
Morning. So I'm not totally unhappy with that. I kind of like that, as a matter of fact, but I am gonna want to go just a little bit brighter. So we'll go with 30th. It might stop it. It's not going to be. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So we're going to do it again. I'll block it off here so I know this is the one. Okay. Here we go. All right. There we go. Now that we have it, now we have the bridge. Now, as you can see in the image, that part there is completely blown out. It's completely blown out, not usable at all. So right now, I have to, fortunately, I can come back down on my ISO. I can come back up on my f-stop. There we go. That's getting better. I'm going to want a little bit brighter than that. So if I had a newer camera, it would show me all this on the back of the screen, but for some reason my camera doesn't do it. Maybe it's just too old, like me. Anyway, okay, so I'm just going to do a series of exposures. And all that's going to do is that is going to give me options when I want to go ahead and blend. Because I'm going to have to blend these two images together, and I want to make sure that I have the perfect exposure to do that. And the best way to do that is just to do a couple. So I've done a couple, and I'll show you, we can see here that, hello. So we can see here that the exposures are varied, going from really dark up to much lighter there. So, okay. So I think that's it. Like I said, I think we're dealing with this sun, and I think it's going to be a problem, and I don't know that it's not going to ruin the image, but we'll see. So here it is, and I hope you like it.
Well, you know how you can get tired of being right? Yeah, well, this was a stinker, and what I thought was going to happen pretty much did. This image, I didn't even finish the post. It was that bad. You know, like I said, there's just no getting around the fact that that big, large swath of sunlight is stealing the show here. The bridge is the subject, but, you know, the sun directly behind it takes all of the energy out of that. And then, you know, it just doesn't work. Well, it is at this point that I must apologize for some audio difficulties. When I went to do this next scene coming up, I didn't realize that the lavalier microphone cable had come loose, just loose enough to make the audio pop like you heard before, and it was totally unusable. I did want to keep it because I like this and I think it's worth looking at, but I'm sorry, we're just going to have to deal with the bad audio.
All right, so I'm pretty much at the same place I was last year. Well, similar. I moved across the creek. I think I crossed the creek last time. But there's really great light right here on this log that's falling across the creek. And I've been kind of shooting it when the light's been in different places. So right now it's not quite as wide as it was. The actual spotlight isn't quite as wide. So so I kind of think I like that a little bit better. But the real issue or the real challenge is to get the big log that comes across the top of the image, to get that in balance with this other log that comes through from the bottom. The ducks is starting to get to me. But anyway, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm standing up, I'm right here. I tried it down a little bit lower and it just didn't feel quite the same separation, I couldn't get separation between the log and the actual rapid, so I had to come up. So I'm pretty much just standing up taking a usual shot. Yeah, so let's take it, let's see what happens. And what I'm going to do now, since I've already gotten that sun spot, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting my water right. And then I may do a focus stack because it's a little breezy in here, but not too bad. So I may try to get a focus stack as well. But I'm going to stop talking because I can't because of all this stuff. So anyway, I'm going to do all this and then we'll see what happens. So here's the shot.
Well, I must say, I do believe this is a little bit better than the last attempt. I do think, however, that the sunlight there in the back does detract and take your eye back there a little bit too much. But the sunlight in the bottom, where it hits that branch coming across the stream there, and that light on the stream with the shadow, that's just fantastic. Well, I was getting ready to leave, and I was going up the path, and I turned around, and I found another image, and I recorded that, but with that bad audio that I didn't realize was happening, I decided not to show you that, but here's the image. I just absolutely love how that light falls on that little bit of moss there on that branch. Pretty nice image overall. Well, that's it. I thank you ever so much for coming along with me. Come again next time. We'll go someplace else, who knows where, but we'll figure that out. If you liked what you see, please subscribe, please like, please ring the bell, because as I've said always, I don't know how often I can get these out, so I'd love for you to be notified when I do. So, thanks everybody, take care.